We are back with some Suns versus Dallas Game 6 reactions. I'll start us off here. Uh, Devin Booker, 19 points, 6 for 17. I mean, this was a blowout, basically the whole game. The
Mhm.
Mavs won by 20. The thing that shocked me, Chris Paul, 13 points. He only took 7 shots.
Hurt his
He's four
hand.
he's 4 for 7, and he had 5 turnovers and only 4 assists. I am really surprised at how CP's been playing. I know he has a history of not being great in the playoffs, but I mean, last year he was so good. This whole season he's been so good. I thought the Suns was, his reemergence as, to prove himself, and he
Mhm.
hasn't been performing. I'm I'm not, concerned about him. I still believe in him, but I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on how CP's playing right now? Are you as shocked as me? Because I'm really, really surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised. He's another one I think he might be injured. But I'm surprised too. This is his kind of last chance. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know how to bet this series. I'm not touching anything on this game 7. Like this is gonna be ridiculous. I don't know what's gonna happen. CP3, like I honestly think like Frank Ntilikina was doing really well on him. Like I
Yeah,
know
Roughing him
like
up, yeah.
dude, like the way that he was guarding him, he would start with 2 hands like in his stomach and he would give like no space. And he just had palms up and he just was playing guard and he was making contact with him. Like as he was dribbling up the court, he would had his chest out and he was making contact with Chris Paul the entire time and it was
yeah.
throwing him off. And he
He had
just
5 turnovers. That's not Chris Paul.
yeah, no. And no one was throwing the ball. Like they were Dallas was playing really long, and what they're doing is they were basically just they were completely around the perimeter. They weren't really doing anything on the inside. They had a runner that would hang with DeAndre Ayton kind of. So and that was
Yeah,
usually Norm Powell or the who else was that? Norm Powell and Kleber. And they would kind of switch off between Ayton running with him in the paint. But other than that, it was 4 out defensively. And they were just so long. Like no one could get anything through. It was insane to watch. They were locking up Devin Booker and
yeah,
Chris Paul. And then Luka offensively just carried the entire game.
yeah. What are your thoughts, Mike?
I thought it was like impressive how many passes they intercepted.
It
Yeah,
was
Speaking
ridiculous.
speaking to how they were playing on the perimeter, they really they what I felt like that they were doing is they were going with a very athletic lineup and
Yeah, Frankie
they were
Smokes.
trying to trap around Chris Paul's mid range spots, and he didn't take any of those shots because it was
no,
never there. It's normally always there. That's his like bread and butter, and he would try kicking it out when he didn't have his either roller or that shot, and it was a lot of turnovers. And I think it kind of goes back to I was bringing this up also. I think Jason Kidd is kind of emerging as a
Yeah,
pretty
he's been
good
coaching
coach.
well.
Pretty impressive. I think they have a good. Their five fits Luca well because they have Kleba that can still guard that five, but also guard like that 4 and 3 if they switch.
And then offensively,
Um,
he pops the fucking corner on those
yeah,
Luca drives, and Luca just hits him every time for that dagger three. It's awesome. He's a
yeah,
yeah,
great player for them.
he's very valuable. But I don't know, it's really impressive, and this game 7 is going to be interesting. I mean, I think if Luca wins this, there's almost going to be a bit of like a passing of the torch, like from CP to Luca, and it's like looking like this could really, really happen because no one expected this, and it's pretty
yeah.
crazy.
Wait,
Um,
real quick, sorry, Jordan. I'm gonna cut this part out. What did Luca had 28?
Let me check.
I just want to make
He
sure
had
I'm on the right
28,
box
11, and
score.
8,
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure I'm on the right.
33, 11, and 8.
Wait,
33, 11, and
33.
8.
Okay, yeah.
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 See, I'm not on the right box
11
He
score.
shot
boards.
he shot a bad percentage.
Wait, yeah, hold
11
on.
and 26. It wasn't like horrible.
It's not showing
It
up.
was mainly, he was
Hold
2
on.
of 8 from 3.
1 second. Let me pull up the box score real quick. Hold on. I just want to grab it real quick before we continue.
But Nick Kalina is a really good defender, and I saw he played his most amount of minutes this game.
Dude, Frankie Smokes is fucking awesome. He's terrible. Like
He's so bad on offense.
yeah, he's got such a
It's gonna be
bad
one of the
fuck-
few series he actually plays to slow down
Yeah.
CP.
No, he could get a role in the NBA as a like just through his defense. Like they need him.
He'll probably
Yeah.
have.
He
He's a
can't even
huge
hit like the occasional 3 though.
Yeah, I was gonna say if he can start shooting a tiny bit, he could get a
Like
good role.
Pat
But
Bev.
yeah,
Well, no, he's better than Pat Bev defensively. He's
well,
like
he's bigger.
Pat Bev brings more than just like his pure defense. It's like
Yeah.
No, I would.
Frank actually reminds me of Wes Matthews, the way he plays deep. I could see him being
West
like,
a little longer though.
is
Yeah.
he? I feel like Frank's pretty tall.
I think
Frank's
not as
tall.
tall
Frank's
as you might think.
6'5", 6'6".
Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, then
Is
never
he?
mind. But West can like hit the corner three. Like
That's what I mean. If
that's the problem.
If Frank can get the three, then he can be Wes Matthews.
He
But
yeah, he did, but like look at he had let's see, he had one
He
block,
averaged like
4
2
steals, 2 assists, 1 rebound. Like he's pretty good passer. I think like
Yeah.
offensive, like he could just be a. All right, wait, we should have included this. Hold on, wait, cut. I cut you off saying something. What were we talking about?
Oh, I'll go. Yeah. I just wanted to add on to the Jason Kidd point. I think the offense is mainly Luka being just really fucking dominant on offense, making plays, stuff like that. But man, I am surprised at how they're playing defense against the Suns team, and that I think is Jason Kidd coaching and showing some real knowledge and proving himself as a coach, which we haven't seen before. I am shocked that the Suns aren't just torching them defensively. And Ayton has been a bright spot. He had 21 and 11 tonight on 10 for 16. But
So Jordan, how do you feel about him on your list?
I was just gonna say I think I may have underrated him a little bit on my list. But I'm really impressed with how they're playing defense. What I want to know though, well, I'll let you guys go. Go ahead, Fike.
I was gonna add 2 things. One, it was good to see the Mavs score when Luka didn't have the ball in his hand,
Yeah.
as well as when he was on the bench. And at the time when the Mavs made the trade, Kristaps, and I believe it may have been a pick for Dinwiddie and Bertans. Oh, it was like a lot of people weren't sure like why that was made or whatnot. Like there was a lot of skepticism, and I think now it makes sense having when Luka's off the floor, they can play Dinwiddie, and he can still be serviceable enough where they don't just get blown off the court.
Yeah, so I was just going to bring up Dinwiddie. He was so efficient tonight, 5 for 7. He had, I believe, 15 points. Let me check that up real quick. Yeah, he had 15 points, 2 blocks. 0 block. Yeah, sorry, 0 blocks, 1 steal, 3 assists, and a rebound. He's just like a great. He can man your second unit really nicely. I kind of I really like him just because like he's usually pretty efficient and he has the ability to hit game winners, which he hit like a couple in a row this season. And he's not afraid of the moment, but he had been playing pretty rough for this series, so I'm glad to see him stepping up. I gave him out as my X factor because when he's when he's on like he was tonight, that's a huge relief for Luka because Luka literally touches the ball and has an impact like on what's happening every single play of the offensive possession. There is not one possession unless Luka is off the floor that he does not come into contact with the ball, initiate the offense, or at least keep it going in some way. He touches literally every play. Like he gets tired or he's going to. Like that's superhuman what he's doing.
Yeah.
So it's great to have that second option.
Yeah. My question for you guys is the home team hasn't lost a game yet in this series, and I want to know, do you guys think the Suns are just bad on the road? Because they struggled against the Pelicans as well on the road. So is it just the Suns struggling on the road, or is this Mavs team actually legit?
So if the road affects Booker, so last game, not this game, but last game, we saw that they were able to win when CP3 did not have a good game, but they were still able to win. So I'm hoping that Cam Johnson plays well. Booker plays well in front of the home crowd. Maybe that gets him going because I know what Booker's like, and I know that he had a shit game tonight. He's going to be in the gym. He's probably in the gym right now. Like he's going to be pumped for this game. I know he's going to get up for it. I'm excited to see what he ends up doing. I might bet on his player props. But also Cam Johnson needs to get in the game. He needs to get pumped up, and we need Ayton to continue to play well. But yeah, so I think since we saw that they won without CP3, I think like he's not going to be a factor next game, in my opinion. I just don't see him having a good game. It looked like he injured his hand on that last play. I have a feeling he either doesn't play or if he does play is as bad as he was the last 3 games. There's something going on. And in that case, hopefully Booker, Ayton, and Cam Johnson can take the role that they need to take and win the game for him.
I think this last game, I don't really. This was like a really impressive performance. I know each home team has won the game, but like this game was way more of a blowout, I believe, than the previous two, and like it just felt really, really in control the whole time. But I think
The
this.
Suns blew him out last game, I think.
No, I
But
was
they were
talking about
home.
when the Mavs
Yeah.
did the Suns at home. I know that a couple of the games were a little
Oh
bigger.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'll go back and just take a peek at what. Like, yeah, they were both 9 and 10-point wins. This was by what,
Yeah.
23?
Yeah.
Something like
And
that.
I
Yeah.
think I don't know why I get this feeling, but I just feel like this is gonna be like that game where Luca just takes over
Luka Magic.
and he becomes like thrusted. I think Giannis has a firm hold on that number one player. I think Luca is just right behind him at number two if he ends up winning this. Because and no one expected it to be this close.
Yeah. I mean, I I think that's a different argument about Luka at two, but we can do that another day. I think I disagree about the home and road thing. I think the road is huge for the Suns. I think they're just bad on the road. And I think they're going
Yeah.
to win this game 7. And I also disagree about Chris Paul. I believe in Chris Paul. I think he's going to have a good game. I think he might be I think he might have a big fourth quarter like we've seen him have even in this series, just closing out games. I think the Suns win it, and I don't know. I'm concerned about the Suns because they're bad on the road, and if they lose one at home, they might be screwed. Um, but I think they win this game 7 because it's home, and I think CP is going to show up.
I think I'm betting on Luka. I think at what he does offensively, like he he might be the most skilled offensive player like he is definitely at his age, but like maybe in the NBA right now. I don't know. That I don't know about he's up there. He's definitely up there.
He's
He can
definitely
do
up there. Yeah.
everything. His angles, his footwork, everything he does is almost perfect, like just about perfect, really. And he's a joy to be able to watch. I just like if he played well defensively. Like he was not, I mean, they target him defensively every time because he's a liability, but if he gives a shit and puts an effort in defensively, that's a big thing. But if I trust him, like I do trust him to hit the big shot. He's a winner. I really if it comes down to a close game, I'm really liking Luka. I'm comfortable putting my eggs in Luka's basket for sure.
No, Greg. Go ahead, Jordan.
Okay, yeah, we can cut that silence out. But I wanted to go back to a couple pods ago before the series. Max said this wouldn't be that big of an upset if Dallas wins, and me and Butsy said no, this would be a huge upset. Blah blah blah. What do you guys think? Is this a huge upset if Dallas wins?
No.
I think it is. It is.
I think it is too.
CP's years are numbered. Like you
what?
said, this is his best chance to win a ring.
Yeah, and they won. Dude, the Suns won 64
like in the
games.
grand scheme of things, it's a big upset. But I'm saying like it's not a surprising upset. Like
I think so.
They have Luka Doncic.
Yeah,
I think
but it's a very. It's not a team with a clear number two.
Are we talking? Sorry, are we talking after viewing the series or before viewing? Like
we're talking
saying,
this series as a whole. If they win,
like after
series.
so we're including because like after watching this series, it's not shocking that they're beating the Suns right now.
Are you talking about like if it like right now, like today, looking at Game 7, you're not surprised that like that?
I'm surprised that they've gone this far.
No, the Maverick. I mean, yeah, that's surprising with their personnel, I think, on paper. But then you look at like what they're doing, and they also have Luka Doncic, who's a fucking good player. Like he might be one of the best players in the NBA right now. Like that's the guys that you go out for. Like he does special things, guys. He beat the Clippers by himself, and Clippers have Kawhi and Paul George. Like this is not like the first time he's done this. It's Luka magic, baby. This is what he does. Like you got to put your fucking eggs in his basket, man. Let it ride.
I think because of who the Suns are, they went to the finals last year. They won 64 games this year. They came in to the playoffs as the finals favorite. Chris Paul and D-Book seem to be this unstoppable duo, perfect fit, perfect role players, all that. And the Mavs, no one thought this was happening. I think this is a huge upset if the Mavs pull this off. I don't think they will, but if they pull this off, I think this is a huge upset. One of the bigger upsets that we've seen in the last probably 5 to 6 years. What do you think, Fag?
I think this upset, it's not quite there, but it could be close to that Clippers upset in the bubble against the Nuggets. Not like the same situation, but mainly because, this is probably Chris Paul's, like it's getting close. I mean, and he's not getting any younger. He's been banged up a couple of years in a row now. I think it would be a huge upset. Yeah.
And this year is for the taking.
Oh, wait, who the fuck called that? What did I say? I said, are we going to account for a Chris Paul injury? And you guys got on my ass about that shit. And you're like, what are you talking about? You can't account that. Blah, 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 blah.
What do you mean? You can't
yeah, no,
account
it's
for
going to
it?
happen.
Is
I was
he
saying,
injured though?
I was saying he hurt his hand at the end of the game. I guarantee you he's not. He's
Oh,
banged up right now.
I mean, like,
He's banged up. He's getting banged up. Like the way he
could a little
plays, the way he
bit.
flops around, he gets banged up every time. Yeah, he's not 100%. The way he's playing, what that has to be a portion as to why.
yeah, I
There's
don't
no
want to
way.
blame it. I don't want to take credit away though from the Mavs defense. I mean, they're
No,
doing
yeah,
a really
the
good job of getting
defensive,
the ball
yeah.
out of his hand, like quick.
It's not 100% injury. It's just I'm just saying that's a portion of it. And I said that we should account for Chris Paul getting injured. That's why I wasn't surprised that this series was going to go this way, because I figured that Chris Paul was going to get injured, and then they have Luka fucking Doncic. Like it's not.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how bad Devin Booker played the last game. I'm surprised about that.
The
I
only
think-
thing, or sorry, I just want to say a quick thing. Just like the only thing I'll say, just regarding an injury, like everyone's kind of banged up, like in the playoffs. Like everyone's got little.
I know that's why I said to
nagging
account
things.
for it.
I mean, like Luke is getting hit every play, so like I wouldn't necessarily.
He got nuked in the face today.
Yeah.
I just think
Bad.
if you think Chris Paul has been injured this whole series, I just disagree.
Not the whole series. No, not the whole
Okay,
series.
well
Game.
that's what's surprising. If he's been playing bad without an injury. If he hurt his hand at the end of this game, that's a different thing.
No, there
but-
was a shift. He had like 28 points one game, and then the next game had 5. Like
It's been
that,
four
there was a
straight
shift.
games with like 10 points or like 11 points.
Yeah, I think he got beat up somewhere in between those two games. Could account for it, or it was a defensive switch, or it was a little bit of both, or it was something we don't know. I don't know.
I
what it was.
disagree. I disagree with the injury take. I think he's just playing bad, and that's why I'm surprised. But yeah, I mean, do you guys have any closing thoughts on Game 7?
I think like this shows you some DeAndre Ayton stock right now. Like this is a big game for him coming up. He's their offensive. If Booker's not like Booker's gonna have to take over offensively and then rely on Cam Johnson to fill the Booker role, because I don't think Chris Paul is gonna have a game. But if he ends up having a game, that's gonna be different. But either way, they need DeAndre Ayton because he's the only one that can basically penetrate the perimeter that Dallas is locking down. They're not. I don't think Phoenix is going to shoot well again, because I think Dallas figured something out using the length approach. I think Frankie Smokes is going to get a lot of play time on CP3. So I think because of that, they need to unlock DeAndre Ayton, and I think he needs to have a massive game in order to help them win, because that'll help them offensively, and then defensively they just need to lock down and do the best they can on Luka, which is going to be hard to do. He literally has 30 every night. It's ridiculous.
I really don't know how this game's going to unfold. I'm
neither.
just surprised it's this far, but I think it'll be interesting to see like how effective Chris Paul can be.
Yeah.
In this last game. And I think I agree getting DeAndre Ayton involved, because they're trying to trap him, get the ball out of his hands, like more up near the court. And they're like beating him up a little bit too. So if he can make the right decisions before, he has to get forced into a bad decision, I think that's going to be the X factor in the game.
All right. Here's my closing thoughts. It's a prediction. The Suns are winning this by 10 plus, maybe 20. I think D-Book goes for 28 or more, and I think CP has 12 assists or more. I really think this road has bothered the Suns. I like genuinely, I think the home team wins this series, and that's my prediction. I think Suns win this handily. I think they do shoot well, and they move on, and we'll see where it goes from there.
I
I
think we should do a little friendly wager, because I think it's Luka's time, dude. He's
Yeah.
the best player on the floor.
Well, yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. These are the moments that make the great players right here. So if Devin Booker and Luca they want to be considered all time greats, these are the fucking moments. So